On the 1st of August 2017, the Australian Human Rights Commission published the Change the Course report into sexual assault and sexual harassment on campus. Student accommodation was specifically identified within the report as an area requiring focus from universities. That focus was set out in Recommendation 9, which called for an independent, expert-led review of residential colleges. The report highlighted some areas that should be considered within the reviews when conducted. The response by the residents to a disclosure of sexual assault or harassment, the ways in which hazing and college traditions may facilitate a culture of increased sexual violence, the role of alcohol in such behaviours, the level of 24/7 supervision provided at student accommodation, and the training provided to residential leaders to be able to respond appropriately. On the anniversary of the publication of the AHRC report, the 1st of August 2018, Universities Australia released guidelines for university responses and a 10-point action plan further supporting and directing the response required from its members. And as recently as the 25th of January this year, the Tertiary Education Quality Standards Agency, TEQSA, delivered its report to the Minister for Education entitled Higher Education Sector Response to the Issue of Sexual Assault and Harassment. It is pleasing to be able to report that our industry has not sat idle in the time that has elapsed since the publication of the AHRC report, nor since the publication of the subsequent reports and guidance documents. Neither have we been caught up in debating the many statistics that were reported relating to our area. In typical fashion for our industry, we have pressed ahead with embracing the recommendations, having grasped the very real human cost at the heart of the report and its objectives to address these. The moral imperative to take genuine action was clear, and our industry's response equally so. Many members have undertaken the reviews recommended using external consultants such as Nous and PricewaterhouseCoopers. Some have further gone ahead and published their reviews, for example, Australian National University, Monash University, Sydney Colleges, and James Cook University. Other smaller institutional and corporate members have joined the response and engaged external reviews appropriately scaled to their operations, conforming to the essence of Recommendation 9 to the best of their ability. What is it that the reviews have uncovered? What is clear is that there are some consistent themes emerging across the industry. These include that appropriately trained and experienced staff are employed in student accommodation, that student leaders are appropriately selected, trained and supported throughout their tenure. Student residencies require clear, unambiguous sexual assault and sexual harassment policies and procedures where applicable in alignment with and not in conflict with the university partner. Residents require proactive education in sexual assault and sexual harassment through inductions, training and codes of conduct. Initiatives to encourage and promote diversity and inclusion amongst the student population, student leadership and in relation to education programs covering culture and gender. A renewed focus on alcohol education and management with appropriate management of on-site bars, student education and risk assessments. Appropriate induction of new students into values, rules and policies. Victim-centred responses to disclosures of sexual assault or sexual harassment with clear pathways for referrals and support structures in place for those receiving disclosures. Clear policies in place and articulated for the education and communication surrounding hazing, harassment and inappropriate traditions engaged in by residents with consequences for any breaches outlined. Repeat of surveys which measure student experiences in relation to sexual assault and harassment. Assessment of proactive programs or initiatives designed to educate residents. A level of consistency of reporting in this space. Equally clear is that these are areas in which, for the most part, the industry already undertakes a significant amount of work. They are areas where there is already some identified best practice, and as such, the final theme which emerged is perhaps the most poignant, and where APSAA has already and will continue to support members. This being the development of a proactive approach to sharing best practice amongst residential sites within university settings and within the broader industry. What is APSAA working on now to support members in this space? At the conference, there is Tuesday's induction panel discussing the importance of appropriately inducting and transitioning residents to the on-campus environment. There are numerous concurrent sessions covering gendered violence, alcohol, risk management, student leadership training, sex and sexuality initiatives, and incident management, all key to proactively addressing issues and concerns in this space. Beyond the conference, the Recommendation 9 Working Group is hosting a member discussion board, sharing articles and best practice. Prior to the conference, the Industry Guidelines Recon workshop included in the Student Experience section discussion and coverage of this topic. Future webinars have been scheduled showcasing mate bystander intervention programs. There is more to do. Continuous development and improvement in how we operators tackle sexual assault and sexual harassment in student accommodation is required. It remains a moral imperative. Our approaches and our commitment to addressing this issue must be embedded in our day-to-day operating cultures in order for us to continue on the genuine path upon which we embarked in August 2017. I have no doubt our membership are equal to the challenge. I urge you to take the opportunities at conference to engage with colleagues in sharing best practice and gather the tools available to make the difference at your accommodation.